All right. We're doing preseason predictions. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna be going through. What the fuck? I'm gonna be going through who's gonna place where. Not points because I'm not God, but I'm going to figure out who places where. I'm gonna give you who I think is gonna make the most upsets. You can probably already guess, given who were in the top 3 last year. Who's going to make it to the final of the League Cup and who's going to make it final to the Gas Cup. All right, let's get to it. So we're going to start off with the League Cups and such. So I think the League Cup final is going to be an Aberdeen Celtic final. That's just what I think it's going to be. It seemed very plausible. Aberdeen made it to the semi-final of the Gas Cup, which is better than they've been doing in a while. And they went pretty far in the League Cup as well. Lost out to Rangers, but most teams do. But if we're deciding who I think wins between Aberdeen and Celtic in this theoretical League Cup final, Celtic. Because even when their Serbian center back is elbowing Kyogo Furihachi into a concussion, we still win 6-0. And then the Gas Cup final is just going to be another old firm. It's been like this for a couple of years now. It's going to just be another old firm. Now it'd be time for the league table. All right, this is where we're going to go with the teams where I think they're going to place. I'm just going to go from worst to best, who I think is going to get relegated, to who's going to win the league and such. So let's just do that. Now, you may be wondering, because I did sing the praises of Ross County before, especially in the 1,000 times simulated version of the Scottish Premier League, where I talked about, well, given how they are playing, I could see them doing this. I meant that in the future. Ross County has been the second to last team in the relegation round multiple times in their stint in the Premier League, and with Dundee United coming back up, which means that we're going to see those two teams play each other again. And being honest, I think Dundee United could actually win those matches. And if this Ross County team was slightly better and picked up some free agents that'd actually work out, I know it's Ross County, they have no money, but I feel like Dundee United is just going to win more matches. And if Ross County just had a slightly stronger team, I think that Dundee would just go yo-yoing again. Great kits, Ross County, though, and they helped Celtic win the league. So let's just be honest. It's going to be sad when we all see them go down. All right. Dundee United, it's literally just the exact same thing. I'm happy that they're back in the league, so you can get another Dundee derby, along with St. Johnstone in there, which is kind of funny. Those derbies are always fun to watch because they take it so fucking seriously. To be fair, those are relegation matches, if we're being honest, for two of those teams included. And one of those teams have been on the up and up. And so is St. Johnstone, to be fair, but I feel like Dundee, if I could be wrong and Dundee could just go yo-yo again, but I think Ross County is just going to do that much worse, and they're just going to lose it. I feel like Dundee is going to be looking good. It's like, oh, damn, they actually might qualify for the championship round, and then they're going to lose out, and then they're going to be in the top 5, and it's like, okay, well, maybe they'll finish at the top of 5, and then they'll just go lose all their 5 matches because they've done that before. And just land right there in 11th place. Okay, I know, this is kind of crazy given how Motherwell has been doing slightly better, but they've been teetering on that line of 3 worst and 3 best, and now they've kind of just fallen off and went from, wow, I think they could actually make high in the championship round, and then they just fall down, and then they finish 7th or 8th. This year, I think St. Johnstone gives them a run for their money because they've been on the up and up. And I think, well, St. Mirren is going to continue to do St. Mirren things against Motherwell. Motherwell doesn't really have Livingston there anymore, so they can't score 3+ goals against them because Livingston got relegated. And Hibernian, I don't think, lost to Motherwell last season. So Motherwell, I don't think they got the beans to go up and win any of the top 6 from last season, St. Mirren included. And I don't think they have the beans to beat really anyone in the league or Gas Cups. So I think they're just gonna fall out. And you know what beans do to your heart, they F with it. So they're gonna get heartburn midway through the season and just go on a long string of losses, like they almost did this last season. Okay, I know I just said that St. Johnstone was on the open up, but the open up for St. Johnstone is finishing 7, 8, 9. This is a team that we've seen get relegated within the past few years and then come immediately back up. We like St. Johnstone in this household because it's way less complicated to support, aka root for St. Johnstone than one of the Dundees, because that's more complicated than the Catholic rivalry with Celtic and Rangers, which isn't very complicated. It's like, oh, you're a Catholic. And then I'm like, oh, you're a dirty wannabe Brit. It's that sort of thing. And with St. Johnstone, I feel like I could be wrong and they could push up into the championship round. But I also think that they're just going to finish mediocrely. Not bad, not good. 3 from the bottom. And I really think that it's either these 7 through 9 positions, they're interchangeable. But I feel like just based on who's the better team here, I don't see St. Johnstone losing their status in the Premier League. But I don't see them winning any amount of matches that send them up to 6th or 5th place. Okay, this is the big one. This is the big change. Other than another one I have, but that one at least makes a little bit more sense. I think St. Mirren is going to fall off. Like, I know it's only 3 positions, but they're going to go from 5th last season to 8th this new season. The Celtic team is on fire currently. This Hearts is looking insane. Kilmarnock is looking as tasty with their passes as usual. And I don't think that St. Mirren is going to have the capability of beating some of the weaker teams who I think will qualify for the top 6, like Dundee FC and Aberdeen. I think that they'll probably only get draws off against those teams. And to be honest, the teams below them, I think they could only get draws off them in a few days. Like Dundee United, I feel like they're just a little bit more wily and a little bit more unpredictable than St. Mirren has been. It's really easy to get past St. Mirren, as we've seen. We've seen it very easily, especially when Celtic got through the semifinal against St. Mirren. I wouldn't say they pounded them, but they definitely exploited their weaknesses. Same with Kilmarnock in the league. Multiple times they just got past them and started winning matches against St. Mirren, which really cost them top 3. They couldn't have qualified in the final 5 matches, but they had those chances, easy games that they just drew last season, which I just don't see why. Those were must-win games in definitely win scenarios, and they drew them or they lost them. And I feel like that kind of curse is going to bring them back down into the 8th position, but they're definitely not getting relegated. Hibernian, or Hibs. What I like to think about Hibs is that they'll finish 1 position higher. That will be it. I think that if they try hard enough, they can get draws against Celtic and Rangers and Hearts. Anything else, they should be able to at least beat Dundee FC once. They should be able to beat Aberdeen once, and Kilmarnock is at least draws all across the board. They'll definitely be able to kick the shit out of teams like Motherwell and Dundee United. Ross County are a little bit weird, but I think they're getting relegated, so that means I think that they at least get 3 victories on them out of the few times that they play them this year. They might have a cup run, and that might be another reason, because Hibs have been sneaking up in the cups a little bit more. than they usually do, which that might be a reason. I might be just foreseeing get to the semifinal and then lose to Aberdeen, or lose to Rangers, or lose to Celtic. And then that's why they gave up on their league season, because they're like, we have a chance of winning a trophy, and then they lose to one of the bigger teams. That's legitimately it. I think that they're just going to bottle top 6 like they did again. Not as bad as how Aberdeen did it, because I'm pretty sure they were only like 1 point off. But I think Hibs are actually going to just bottle it a little bit more depressingly. They're just going to get only draws and be only out on goal difference for the top 6. So I think they have a chance of making it into the top 6, but I don't think they do. All right, the best team in Dundee. So let's just be honest with here. I think that they'll do good. This is me saying that they'll finish in the exact same place that they did last season, and only making it into the championship round on goal difference, because Hibs just bottled it again. But this could be good for them, because this could generate a little bit more momentum. They're like, okay, we've done champions ship round 2 years, very maybe unconvincingly, but we got it, and we got some big wins. And even though I'm saying this when they lost 7-0 against Celtic before, which was great to watch. 7-1, sorry, so 6-0. 6 goal difference in that game. But it's just like watching a depressing dog pass the finish line before the other ones. But it's like, how did it get there? Oh, wait, it has a slight head start because they played the shittier teams first. It's really sad when they lose those matches, like when they go to play Ross County and they lose. Those are the sad matches. But it's fun for me, because I don't really like either of the Dundies. We're going to get a Dundee Derby. I don't see United winning any of those matches. I see FC just beating the shit out of them. So that's why I think Dundee FC are just going to finish 6th and then keep trekking on like they normally do. Okay, Aberdeen. They're going to finish better. They had some convincing wins, and they had some pretty impressive comeback and draw the match sort of things. 2 goals, 3 goals down. They put in a fair share of goals last season, scoring 48, which is by no means the best, but it's better than both Kilmarnock and St. Mirren last season, and also better than St. Johnstone last season, Ross County last season, and Livingston last season. So, and better than Hearts. No? Yeah. How many did Hearts put in? 54. And, yeah, no. So, I thought it was 48. But it is better than a lot of the other teams. And I think that's what they're just going to prey on. Aberdeen is kind of that team. They score 1 goal, sit in. Doesn't really work when they're playing against the 2 really big teams in the league. But I think they might slot away more goals. I think they're going to pass that 50 goal mark, which is going to help them through. I mean, they're not going to go full Celtic and score 95 goals. And they're not going to go concede fucking 52 this season. They're going to actually learn how to defend. I mean, only scored 48, concede 52. That's pretty depressing. I feel like in the matches that they win, it's going to be like more than 1 goal. In matches they lose, it's going to be just a 1 goal difference. Aberdeen are looking stronger. They have a good defense, actually, that are like coming back. Loney's coming back, and some other genuine players. So I feel like that they'll just be able to pull through and get 5th place, maybe even challenge for 4th, maybe even 3rd if they have a really right season. But I feel like the team above them is 100% getting 4th or getting 3rd, depending on how bad the 3rd place team does, because I don't think that they got the heart in it anymore, for what I'm saying. So let's just move on. Okay, so Kilmarnock. It's the same position they got last season. They beat Celtic, which is just a good fucking upset to have on the league, and that was at the near end of the league, which actually started a title race before the top 5, and which was pretty bad. And if Ross County would not have beaten Rangers, Celtic would have had a much harder time winning the league. And that probably would also helped out Rangers a little bit more, give them more confidence in the last 5 last year. But given what Kilmarnock has been doing, they could probably challenge for third, too, with Aberdeen and interchange. I feel like Aberdeen and Kilmarnock are kind of interchangeable here. Even though I give the major edge to Kilmarnock, I feel like if they're getting 4th or 5th, they're getting 4th. And if they're moving up into the top 3 for like European chance of qualifying, they're going to do it. So hell yeah to them. That's really all I have to say. They slaughtered away only 46 goals last season. Not the best, but they only conceded 44. So they were winning the majority of their games. Okay, I know. Rangers are usually a contender to get first place or second place, but this hasn't happened, and they were looking real sad at the end of last season. I mean, they won 3 of their 5 final games, but they drew one of them and, well, lost one of them. So they only won 3. I'm good at math. But legitimately, I think, well, given the firepower that we're seeing from Celtic, and given the kind of depressing wee dog that you see gone from Rangers this time in season, they sold their captain to Srabanspor, I'm pretty sure. And I'm legitimately happy because he was kind of good. And what I think is just going to happen is the other 2 teams get past them, and Kilmarnock does some upsets, and so does Aberdeen, and so does Dundee FC, and then they just perform terribly against Hibs and St. Mirren, and maybe even get a draw in against St. Johnstone, and they'll probably lose to Ross County again at least once. So that's what I think is going to happen to Rangers. Fuck them anyways, though. So Hearts, yeah, they're going to do good. I think Hearts are actually going to get to the chance of qualifying for Europe, in the Europa League. And I think that would be an amazing go for them. They've only ever had the chance of qualifying for the Conference League in these past few years. And I would really like to see them have a European go, see how they turn up against other teams. Because we know Rangers and Celtic, if they try hard enough and put all of their beans into the basket of trying to get out of a Europa League, or hell, even if it's like a sacred Celtic team or a Rangers team, they can get out of the group in the Champions League. But I'd love to see how Hearts can do it, given that they're the regularly 3rd best team in the league. And I think that they'll actually move up, and Rangers will just become second fiddle to Hearts. Hearts is a good team. They got structure. Their formation is completely great to their strength. They're not the fastest, but they're a really controlling team. And they force teams like Celtic and Kilmarnock to have to sit back and stop the constant flow and aggression, because they hold the ball, and you can't be ball chasing the entire time if you're Celtic, because you're going to get tired. And then that's usually when they'll slot away a goal. But this is also where I see that sacrificing that first place. Hearts are probably going to lose the matches against Celtic. All of them probably. Draw maybe 1 or 2. And they'll probably get a majority win ratio against Rangers, but only win a few of those matches. And draw a lot of them. I don't see them losing to Rangers this season, but watch me be wrong. It can happen. But I just see Hearts doing it this season and making it into second and having the chance of qualifying for the Europa League. A chance of qualifying for a chance of qualifying. Yeah, the Scottish League is fun, ain't it? In the Celtics' last 3 preseason matches, they have scored 12 goals. Not against shit teams, may I add. DC United being the worst, given it's an MLS team that finished mid-table. They started away a 4-0 victory against them. Celtic then went to go on probably the best team on the planet, Manchester City, 4-3, with out Cameron Carter-Vickers, and while Liam Scales had his head up his ass. Luis Palma is good. Chelsea only scored 1 goal, and it was an own goal, so they didn't even score their own goal. How many times can I say that? Also, Celtic slotted 4 away. It wasn't even close. Matt O'Reilly just made them look stupid. They're winning this. I'm not saying they go invincible. I'm not saying they win it decisively. They're not letting it slip. They are winning. The boys are winning. What do you think this is a game?